Hey guys, Dirtbag Gaming here. Today we're going to be bringing you another Raid Shadow Legends video for you guys. Today I'm super excited because I really wanted to go over this since I started this channel. It's going to be How To Arena for the beginner and mid-game players. I'm excited because we're going to be talking about a lot of rares that not a lot of people use. We're going to be talking about epics that not a lot of people use. Once you get past that middle of the game arena, you're really just using your Arbiter and whatever legendaries you have to nuke down the other team. So this video is, again, could be made for people that want to start off and get through those pesky missions, trying to get to that Arbiter. Because again, once you get that Arbiter, you kind of don't need any of these speed leads or speed tunes, until you really get those legendaries that you're really looking for. So today's video, we're going to be going over a 3-part series. This is part 1 of part 3. The first video, we're going to be going over why Arena is important. The second part is speed leads and speed boosters, as well as why is it important to go first. That's kind of like what's going to get you past all of these beginning levels, bronze, silver, even getting up to the gold status, and how to actually equip your speed lead champions. So let's get right into it. I have this opened up as a grade haul. So why is it so important? Why do we want an arena? The first part is because of this. The grade haul isn't made just for the arena. It's made for the entire game. It helps out in every aspect of it because these are base stats that your champions are going to be using everywhere that they go. So the accuracy is going to be used for actually attacking champions and building up and like getting the defense down, all that stuff on the bosses and clan boss. Everything's going to be needed for the accuracy. Resistance, again, not so much for the PvE, but crit damage, attack, all making your champions hit harder, defense making you survive a lot longer in the clan boss, and HP, same thing. So this is actually my grade haul. It's building up. The first thing that I'd suggest is going for that accuracy because it's definitely going to help you out with the clan boss. And then second thing, going for the defense. Really base it off of what your champs are. Like if you have a lot of blue champs in your the clan boss, you really want to build up that defense and the accuracy just to make it a lot easier. If you picked Kale, he's going to be your main damage dealer and accuracy all the way through until you get more hard hitters. So this is kind of why we're really building up the arena points. I have 2,000 still to spend, but this is why we need to do the arena. It goes hand in hand. So if I get really good and really fast at the arena and getting a lot of points, I'm going to be building this up along the entire way. Alright, so that's the first part and why arena is so important. Obviously, and it gets us through some of our missions. I still remember doing get up to bronze, get up to silver, get up to gold, and without actually doing that, I'm never going to get this lady right here, which is Arbiter, which we're all trying for. Okay, so that's the first part. The second part is we're going to go over actually speed leads. So there's going to be a couple type of teams you're really going to want to be building in a raid. The first part is you need a speed team, which is either going to be a speed up ×2, so you want to speed up, debuff the next team, and then also nuke. Alright, so that's going to be the orders: speed, defense, decrease defense, and then nuke. Alright, so that's going to be the order that we're going to try and build here. The second one is going to be a speed up, which is you're going to try and boost the turn meter or speed up your team. Control the other team, which is going to go over like provoke and all that other stuff on the other team. Debuff, same thing, and then nuke. Alright, so you can either have a speed up, debuff, 2 nukes, 2 speed ups, debuff, nuke, or speed up, control, debuff, and nuke. But those are the main things you really want to go over. We're going to be going over a lot of the speed up and speed lead teams today. Alright, so let's get into it. The speed lead, that's the first thing you really want if you're going to go first in the arena. If we look at the arena, for me, the gold 4, most of them are going to be speed up teams. So sometimes we have defensive teams, which we're going to go over later, but the speed up teams are what you're going to be aiming for getting through the ranks. Is if you go first, you win, essentially. Alright, so let's go over some of the champions that I picked for the speed leads. So we'll go to our handy dandy index. The first person, a lot of people are going to start off with her. I started off with her when I started this game, is Spirit Host right here. So Spirit Host has the speed lead of increase ally speed in all battles, not just the arena, but all battles by 10%. That extra 10% speed lead could make your team go first and win, or you need that speed lead right there. So having that extra 10% instead of no speed lead is going to make or break the team. So first thing is Spirit Host with the speed lead right here. Now all these champs that I'm showing you, if you check out their gear and you're like, all right, this person is a speed lead as well as a DPSer or a buffer or a debuffer, make sure you're looking at that, because right now for the rare champions you're not going to have a lot of damage. You're mainly going to have like the speed up or the boosters on your team. The first one is Spirit Host. The second one I have is Mother Superior. So let's go into the Sacred Order. And again, this is going over rares and epics. Obviously with the legendaries, that's a completely different video. But for these today, we're going to go over Mother Superior, which is right here. She also is a speed lead in all battles by 13%. So again, we're just creeping up there. But Mother Superior is another speed lead. Skull Crown, so we have the Skull Crown right here. I still don't have one. It kind of stinks because she is your DPSer as well. She survives very, very good in the arena. But she has increased ally speed in arena battles by 23%. That's pretty high. So she can be one of your speed leads. If you definitely have her, congrats, because I really want her. The next one is Jingle Hunter. I've had a couple of him. I've used him a couple times, especially going through the rankings. But Jingle Hunter in the High Elves, he's like a Christmas. I wasn't around when he came out, but definitely around Christmas if you take a look at him. His speed lead is 24% in the arena. So if you start with him, he is a DPSer, he is a control guy. It's like one of the things, if you speed up and the control, he could be one of your control nukers on your team. But again, that speed lead is what we're really looking for. Next, not a lot of people talk about this guy, but I use him in my faction wars. This Lizardman right here, he's a void rare Horospex is a speed lead, so arena battles by 15%, but he has an apothecary skill, which is right here. Fills the turn meter of all allies by 15% and places a 15% increased speed on all allies for 2 turns. So he doesn't only necessarily have a speed aura, but he also has a booster. So he can be your 2-for-1 guy for a rare. So if you get this guy and you're kind of starting off in the game, definitely use him as your speed lead. Obviously we have what everybody knows as Gorgrab. He's definitely one of the top arena champions, especially with the booster as well as the speed lead. So I use him in my 3v3. My speed right now is around like 270-ish, but again, you're picking him because of the speed lead. So the speed lead as well as the booster right here fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. He's another speed lead. We got Mangus in the Knight's Revenant. Let's go back to the Knight's Revenant. She is a rare right here. So Magus is a speed lead. She has a speed lead in arena battles by 16%. So she is pretty easy to get because she's a blue affinity. The next person we have is Malbrant in the Demon spawn. So sorry about that. Malbrant right here. So she is also a void. She has a speed lead of 16 in all arena battles. So 16% for the speed lead, and she could do some nuking for you as well, putting up a counterattack, some bombs. And finally, last, let's go to Knight's Revenant, Sacred Order, Bushi. Bushi. He is a speed lead in all arena battles by 20%. So Bushi actually just got a buff in the game. He definitely hits a lot harder. He survives a little bit more. He places unkillable buff on himself. But he has a speed lead, which is what we're looking for. So those are going to be your main starting guys that you're looking to get to kind of get into that arena go first team. Alright, so the first thing we need is that speed lead. Those are all the rare and epic speed leads that we're looking to start at for this video. The next part is going to be the speed boost. Alright, so like I said, we're going to be building the team with a speed lead, a speed booster, then a debuffer, and then a nuker. Alright, so again, this video we're going to be going over the speed leads, which we just did, and now we're going to go over the speed boosts. So the speed boosts, we have a bunch of them. The rares and the epics, we split it up this time. So the rares, we're going to go back to my boy, Horospex. I actually, again, I use him a lot in the arena. Not the arena, the faction wars, but he is somebody that I found. I was like, why don't I just use this guy? Because he's really, really good. So he has a speed up, fills turn meter of all allies by 15%, also plays a 15% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. So if you have him as your speed, you can use him as your speed buffer at the same time. Okay, so again, the goal is to have boost up your turn meter. So if you and the other team are at 100% and this guy is going first, he goes first, he boosts now all of your 100% turn meter up to 115% essentially. So now your guys are going faster than the other team, so you're going to boost up and now you're going before the other team, right? So that's kind of the point of this is that you want to go fast. All right, so that's the next part. He also does res, which is really good. We got Doom Screech, which not a lot of people use. He's good for the defensive teams, like if you have a defensive nuker. That's not the guy. We got Doom Screech. He's a rare. Right here. So he's kind of like the Seeker. So he kind of looks the same just without the armor, and he's a rare. So he has the kind of same thing where you fill the turn meter of all allies by 30%, double of what the other guy was, but 30%. And you place a 60% increase defense on all the allies for 2 turns. So you're going to use him to kind of boost up your turn meter and kind of make your guys a little bit harder if you do have a counterattack or a repression on the other team that are going to try and attack you. Right? So he's going to be the next guy, next rare. Then we have Diabolist, which is in the demon spawn. So let's go into the demon spawn. We have a Diabolist. I think it's one of these guys. Right here. So Diabolist, a lot of people, she is farmable. You can kind of make so many copies of her. She has 110%, sorry, 110 speed. Look how fast that is. She is used to fill the turn meter of all allies by 15% and also decrease the turn meter of all enemies by 15%. So it's almost like a 30% swing on both sides. Okay, so you're giving yourself 15%, and you're decreasing the enemies by 15%. She also has a secondary skill, which she does an AoE, plays a 30% increased speed on all allies by for 2 turns. So she attacks, which if you want to put a stun set on her, she can attack and increase your speed. She just makes everybody go faster. But this is kind of what we're going to be using her for, is you're going to increase the turn meter by 15% and decrease the turn meter by the enemies by 15%. You do need accuracy for that one if you're going to try and decrease the turn meter. You don't need accuracy to fill your turn meter, but you do need accuracy to decrease the other person's turn meter. Alright, so that's going to be the next one. Then we have a Chandler. Not a lot of people talk about this guy. It's funny, we're going over rares, and almost nobody uses these rares unless you're starting out or kind of building up your arena teams. But we have a Skinwalker. I just looked at him. Chandler. Right here. Okay, so Chandler has a move. Places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns and fill their turn meter by 15%. So a lot of these guys kind of have similar speed boosts. Apothecary, like I said, the same thing. He's going to be our next guy, but if you increase your speed, all of your team is now faster, and if you increase the turn meter, they just go a lot faster than the other team. So this guy is going to be used to kind of boost up your team one more time, just before you put that decreased defense and also the nuke. Right? So that's the next guy, and finally we got the main dude that a lot of people that even still use him even for end game content. It took me actually a while to get Apothecary. I just used as many shards that I could possibly pull, the green ones, and I finally got a lucky pull of the Apothecary to get me up to my speed lead. So his speed lead is 5-4, goes down to a 3 turn, but places 30% increased speed on all allies and fills the turn meter by 50%. So same exact skill as the other guy. He's just good all around because he does provide a heal, and he provides a 3-hitter and a defensive for the dungeons. So all in all, he's good everywhere, but he has a lot of the same skills as a lot of other people to boost up the turn meters. All right, so we can use him as well. He's got a base speed of 106, so very, very fast. So those are your rare speed boosters. All right, so the next one we're going to go over is the epic speed boosters. Now, the first one not a lot of people talk about, but he's used for DPS, but we're going to talk about him for his speed boost, is Ogre Tribe Shatterbones. Right here. So Shatterbones has a 30% decrease in defense, 15% fills turn meter of all. Okay, so he places a 15% decreased speed buff on all enemies for 2 turns and fills the turn meter of all allies by 25%. Okay, so like I said, he's not the one that like a lot of people use as a speed booster, but if you wanted to use him as a speed booster, you could, and also do damage because he hits pretty hard with this. Attacks all enemies 3 times spell has a 50% to decrease the turn meters. So he's a control guy. So he controls the other team very, very well. So if you're lucky enough to pull this guy and you want him as your speed lead, or if you just want to do a massive amount of damage and get up to a 75% chance to decrease the turn meter, completely up to you. Alright, so 2 different options for that guy. Next we have Seeker, which a lot of people use. I still use him in my 3v3. He is an endgame type guy, but he is an epic. So he's easier to get. Now this Seeker guy, he has this right here, which fills the turn meter of all allies by 30%. It's double than the Apothecary, but fills by 30% and plays a 50% increased attack buff on all allies. And grants an extra turn. So just and he's very tanky. 30% in arena battles, and puts this up if he's hit or somebody's hit with a critical hit, which happens a lot in the arena because a lot of people have 100% crit rate. But it grants an extra turn, so he has a chance to provoke their speed lead as well. So if you get a Seeker, he's definitely one of the top speed boosters for the epic status. Next one, since we're already in here, we have Gorgorab. I got him recently, actually. I've been playing the game for a while now, and I recently got him. I've been wanting him because if you got him, you're basically set. You have the speed lead, the speed boost, and the reser. But he gives a speed boost of 15% and the attack, so it helps your attack nuker. Takes away a remove buff, and he can res up your team if they die. All right. Next one is a free champ. So if you guys are working up to get this guy, you already have this guy, take him out of your vault. He's a barbarian, or she's a barbarian. High Katoon right here. She has a base speed of 104. She has a speed lead, increases ally speed in all battles by 19%, and the same thing as Apothecary, fills turn meter by 15% and puts a 30% increased speed. So if this is kind of the person that you're waiting to get, or you have, use her as your main person to have the speed lead and have the booster. Right, so you're going to boost up the turn meter. She does have a decrease the turn meter by 15% on all enemies, and she can kind of do this as well. So if you want to build her kind of tanky, besides having a really fast speed, you can kind of counterattack and keep lowering their defense speed. Right? So that's the next person, and then last person we're going to be going over is a newer champ, which she looks really cool. She is in the Knights Revenant. Golden Reaper. Right here. Really cool name, really cool look to her. She's got a scythe. Anybody who has a scythe is badass in my book. She has this spell right here. Plays a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns and boosts her turn meter by 20%. So not 15% like you usually see, but a 20% speed boost. You can get it down to a 3-turn cooldown. So she is very fast. She's 111 base speed, and she can boost up the turn meter by 20% while giving them a speed buff. Alright, so this is going to be your boosters. So the goal, again, if you're starting off, get a speed lead. So anybody that can have a speed lead for you, whether they be DPS or whether they be your booster, get that speed lead going. Then you want to max up the next person to kind of go right behind that person to then speed up your champs. How you figure out what you're going to go next is you're going to build your speed booster the fastest on the team. So you can have a speed lead as a DPSer and not the fastest, but your speed booster is going to be the fastest on the team. You want them to go first to boost up the entire team so that the next team can go before the other team. All right. So that's going to be the speed champs and also the speed booster. The next part we're going to go over with this is we're going to go over why is it important to go first. If you want to go second, don't listen to anything I just said. Alright, so if you want to go second, or you have a lot of people that are you see arbors everywhere, you're going to want to start building a team that goes second. Alright, but this video is strictly for the people that want to go first, because if you go first, you boost up, debuff, and DPS before they even get a chance to go. They don't have any buffs on them unless they bring a shield. They don't have any decrease defense, decrease attack on you. You're literally just going first to try and nuke down the other team. Alright, now, how do we equip these people? This is going to be a great transition on like them adding this new equip system in the game. This filter right here is how you're going to equip your fastest champion. Let me pull up a champion you guys might have, which is going to be Apothecary. Might be in my vault. The Apothecary right here. He has a base speed of 106, again, which is fast. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to make him as fast as possible. So the gear that you're going to be getting is the speed gear. You want to get as much speed gear as possible. You can either farm it in the basic campaign, or once you get to the dragons, you can start farming it in dragons and just rack up that speed gear. Alright, anything that has substat speed is what you're looking for. Alright, so let's go these 3 slots. I want to have the fastest speed. So the boots are easy, we'll skip that. But I want these 2 slots. I want to go to substats, and I want to click on speed, and I want to go to equipped. If I go to equipped, it shows me who else has that gear that I might be able to borrow it, or just steal it off my guys and put it onto another guy. Alright, so let's find a guy in the speed. So my gloves, now you're not really going to care about what stats they have on it. Really, you're just looking for the speed. Okay, like here's an example. My secret gloves right here have a crit damage of 42%. Do you think I care about him doing damage in the arena that much? No, not at all. But I care about that speed. So he's wearing a glove that has 11 plus speed on him. All right, so these ones that aren't equipped, this one has a 8 speed, this one has a 6 speed, this one has a 9, 10, 11 speed with the glyphs, obviously. But my fastest one should be the Arbiter. She's got a 20 speed. So she's my main speed lead, so I'm not going to touch that. But let's say I wanted to touch anybody who this guy. So I have a 4-star HP, which is pretty cool, but he's got an 8 speed. Let's say that was my fastest. All right, I would equip that to this guy. So now he's got 8 speed, which is the fastest I can find in my gear, or your gear, to be on this guy. Now the same thing for the chest. Once you have the gloves, you can just click off the gloves. Alright, so I got the fastest gloves. Now let's go for the chest. Let's go with the chest piece that isn't equipped yet. This has a 5, can't really boost that up. He's got a 8, she's got a 13, and he's got a 8. So let's pretend that she is the fastest speed. Now again, I'm really trying to push the game, so I don't care if I borrow this gear off of her and add another gear to her later after this, but I want the fastest speed. So I don't care that's an attack banner. I don't care, okay? I want to make sure that this is good. So I'm going to equip it, take it off of her, put it on my apothecary. Now I have an extra 13 speed here and an extra, I think it was 8 speed on my gloves, but this stat gives me an extra 12% boost on top of that. So it just goes even higher. That's why you want 3 speed artifacts, 3 groups of it to boost up your speed even more. Alright, so we're going to do that. Now the boots are a little bit different. You want not a sub-status speed, but you want a main status speed. So primary, speed, and then again equip. So let's go into, if you had like a 4-star, even if a 4-star, if that's the highest, but it's a speed boot, put it on your guy. Alright, that's 35 extra speed right then and there. Without me even adding an extra, it's 35 plus the extra 12%. So for these boots, I'm getting 49 extra speed. That's how important the speed boots are. They're white and they're 4-star. Who the hell cares? I would put this on my apothecary if it was my only speed boots. So let's put it on the apothecary. Now we have an extra 49 there, 8 there, 13 there. That add an extra like 50, 60, 70, almost 80, 90 speed just for those 3 slots. Right? So that's how you're going to look and make your fastest person be the fastest person on your team. If you're finding out that they're really not the fastest person, you just need better gear, farm better gear. It'll take time. This game is a grindy type game. You need to farm, you need to go out, and you need to do missions. You need to do whatever you need to do to get the gear. But once you have the gear, you're good to go. You might upgrade it later, but if you're starting off, that's going to be how you look for the items. These 2 items don't have any speed. Don't have to worry about that. But once you get up to a 60 or a 6-star, you're going to want the fastest banner. Okay, I was lucky enough to get an HP banner and have a fast banner of 21 speed on my high elves. But that's for the spiders. That's going to be later on down the road. Most of us are going to have either 40s or 50s. But once you get up to that 60 slot, the banner opens, and then boom, you're good to go to get more speed. Alright, so that's going to be the guide on how to find the best artifacts or find the best gear for your speed leads. And actually how to equip it. Alright, so now the second slot is, let's say your main guy was your Arbiter, she's at a total speed of 323. Again, don't get discouraged. I started at like 200 something, but let's say that's your highest speed. You want to go to the one website where it shows you how to tune your guys. Okay, so you're gonna go put in your speed of your Arbiter, and then it's gonna tell you what speed you want to aim for your second guy. If you don't have that crazy gear and all your gear is going on one guy, have the next best gear on the next guy. So the speed lead, right? If he's a DPSer, doesn't need to be the fastest, but if he's your booster, make him the fastest. Next part is get the booster going. So if you have the speed lead, who's going to be your booster, do it. If you don't have a speed lead booster, have your booster go next. Okay. So for my example is I have an Arbiter, she's going to boost up the speed, and then I have a second one, which is Gorgorab, he actually boosts my speed up again. So I have 2 boosts on my team before I debuff and kill the team. So again, that's what you could be doing for your team, is you can have 2 boosters, like anything that I mentioned earlier, with a debuffer, and then as well as a damage dealer. So that's going to be the video for the speed tunes, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope that helped out for all the new guys out there. Definitely like the video if it helped you out at all. Leave some comments below on if I missed anybody, or if there's somebody that you use that I didn't really talk about a lot and you want me to talk about them more in the future. And also subscribe to the channel, again, if these videos are helping you guys out, because I just love the arena, because it definitely helps out with the entire game. But guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you guys in a video soon.